Today's podcast is brought to you by Inverted Gear. For all your jiu-jitsu needs, go to invertedgear.com. Save 15% off if you type in the coupon code ShowTheArt15 with no spaces. Our next sponsor is Chimera Coffee. That's Chimera Coffee with a K. They are a coffee brand that infused their coffee with nootropics. If you don't know what nootropics are, Google it. They can do a much better job at explaining it than I can. Go to chimeracoffee.com, type in the coupon code ShowTheArt for a nice little discount. Enjoy. Ian, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
How's everything, man? You're in lovely California. How's the weather there?
Oh, it's great. It's like 6 o'clock. Sun is shining. You know, you could go to the beach right now out here.
Nice, man. It's funny because this is normally like a martial arts podcast, but we want to do it's called the Show the Art podcast. So we want to go outside the realm of martial arts, even though that's what we do. But we want to show the art of everything. Like, I'm a fan of martial arts. I'm a fan of stand-up comedy. I'm a fan of a lot of things. And you're one of the comedians out there that I'm like a huge fan of. And, you know, I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I figured you'd kind of beat me up if I didn't get on, you know? So I was like, fuck.
Yeah, man. We got a clan of ninjas coming your way.
Yeah, I know. Jiu-jitsu ninjas.
Well, technically we called them off because you called on.
Exactly. They're on their way back.
All right, cool. I'm not stupid.
Dude, we were just listening to your skit in the car the other day, the bowl cut skit.
Oh, the bowl cut? Hilarious.
Oh, classic.
What skit are you most famous for? What bit?
What bit? Yeah. I hope a bunch of bits, but I guess Shark Attack, It's your my birthday, and people like the bowl cut.
It's funny because in martial arts, like MMA, I don't know if you watch MMA at all. Do you watch MMA?
Yeah, a little bit. I go to, especially sometimes I roll to some of the fights with Joe.
Okay.
And I get to see him live, like right there.
Wow. Like right behind him?
Right behind him, yeah.
And how's that experience? I've never been like that close.
You don't always want to be that close. You can hear the bones cracked. You know, you could like. I remember the first time I saw somebody's foot stomping somebody. I was like, "What's that noise?" It sounded like thunder, and then the dude was really like stomping on the dude's feet, and it had no effect on him, but it sounded like thunder. I was like, "These dudes are tough everywhere, every part of their body. It's tough, man."
My point about that was martial arts, like a lot of people are famous for like a technique, a specific like kick or like a punch. Like Chuck Liddell's known for knocking people out with the right hand. So I wanted to know, like, in the stand-up comedy world, are people known for specific jokes, or are they known for like a style? Like, is there something that people are known for?
Yeah, people are known for jokes and for style, or for style of jokes. You know what I mean? Like Stephen Wright and Mitch Hedberg had these offbeat one-liners, and some people will tell you stories. Some people are political comics. That's their style. Some people like Brian Regan or JB Smoove are very physical, and they'll tell you these animated stories and paint the picture of it. So everybody has different styles. Like, I'm like low-key, I'm like laid back, but I'll hit you with some hard shit, you know?
Yeah, I think I liked your comedy as soon as I heard like your first bit, like that I heard of. I think because I could like relate to you a lot, because you were like like you said, a laid back, like like your delivery was very casual, like we were just talking in a normal setting, and I think it hit me hard. And then, like you said, you just hit that punchline, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of fans from other types of like styles of comedy, or generally just kind of the same people stick with the same style as far as fans?
Like, yeah. I mean, there's just fans of comedy, period. So even if they weren't aware of my style, like if they're in a club one night and they see me, you know, they'll be happy to discover me or discover my style, and you can get new fans that way. Like, you know, you always have to get new fans. Like, I'm not the most famous comic in the world, so I'm always at least getting one new, I don't even like to use the term fan, but at least one new person appreciating my style of comedy every day, if not more, you know?
How did you develop your style? Like, how did you come up into that style? Is it from inspiration from other comics, or is it just personal life? Like, coming from someone who's not a who's not in that career in the stand-up comedy world, how does one develop a style and
as laid back as mine,
or any style, just in general?
Well, I'll speak for me personally. Like, I'm inspired by being lazy, and my style, it's just so laid back. So when I first started doing comedy, I've changed my style several times, but this is the truest one I've had, and I've had it for maybe 10 years, but before that, you're just trying to develop a style that'll help you survive in the ring. Like, if you want to speak in terms of martial arts or jiu-jitsu, like, you come up with something that gives, maybe the first move that won you a fight, you'll keep doing that move. So the first style of comedy that I did that got me results on stage was probably very loud, because I started doing comedy in New York. So I was very loud and very animated. And it didn't matter what I was saying. Even if it was supposed to be said quietly, I just said it loudly and aggressively. And then I started to win on stage that way. And then I kept on doing it for a long time. But that was just one of many styles. And then I added something to that. Like, I would add like punchline, punchline, punchline. So now I was not only loud, but I was like, I multiplied the amount of punchlines I had in a minute. So that's just like hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. So it was all jabs, both hand jabs, kicking jabs, everything, just full on. But then you miss stuff because you're going so fast, the audience is going fast with you. But then I realized after a while that there's moves in between those fast moves. And if I slow down and if I'm myself more, plus I got a little maturer, and I didn't want to pretend, or I probably couldn't keep that up or sustain that. Like, and I was laid back off stage, and I would make people laugh off stage. Okay. And then the comics that I admired, like Richard Pryor, they always seemed to be themselves off stage, and they were the same person on stage. So I was like, I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna make the decision to bring my off stage self, which is something I always wanted to do, on stage and be that guy and see what the results are and stick with that. And so that's when I just, one night I just said, fuck it, and slowed everything down and just was me, and it worked, and it worked than I thought it would. And I just started working on that and developing that.
And your offstage persona pretty much is your everyday persona. Is that accurate? Right.
Yeah.
You can kind of compare it to anything when you first start, especially sports or martial arts, because that's what I know. In the beginning, you use your attributes, your speed, your strength, your intensity. And is that what you're saying? You used in the beginning, and then once you started finding the technique and started honing in on the moves in between moves, the technique starts overplaying. And then eventually you get to the point where you know all the rules and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to break the rules and just be myself and just flow.
Well, I did jiu-jitsu like twice, right? Mm-hmm. So a friend of mine, he showed me some moves.
Yeah. So you're like an expert now.
Yes, I'm an expert now. Right. So if I know 3 moves, and I always go to those 3 moves, but I never take the chance to slow down and find out that there's 7 moves. I'll only know those 3 moves, because I'll always just go to those and depend on them instead of panicking and going to the 3 moves. I'm like, there's another move I could try and another move. So that's what I did. I just said, I want to learn the other moves instead of just going to the 3 moves.
Ah. Now, is that every comic's dream or not dream, but goal to get to the point where they're just themselves on stage as much as possible?
Nah, that's not every comic's goal. That's just mine. And you could usually tell. Like Steve Martin, I just read his book like a while ago, but he never tried to be himself on stage. He just wanted to be just a wild, crazy, goofy guy and entertain people. Because at the time he was a comic, a lot of people were doing political comedy, and he wanted to be different from that on purpose.
I see.
So everybody has, different styles and reasons for their styles.
I compare it again to martial arts because in martial arts, a lot of times when you compete, everybody crushes it in the gym. You have this freedom, this confidence. There's no pressure. And everybody's goal is to get to the point where they can compete like they do in the ring, like they do in the gym. But it's interesting that you say, like, some people are just truly playing a character. And when you're playing a character, you can't be yourself. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just, some people might be better as an alter ego, and some people might be better as themselves.
Yes.
Or it might be vice versa. But you won't know. You just have to experiment and try different things, and then you'll be like, all right, this is the best thing for me, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
But instinctively, I always thought, even when I wasn't being myself, and even when I forgot about being myself, the first thing I thought about when I thought about doing comedy was being myself. And I actually was that, but when I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, like I wanted like people doubled over in laughter. Then I saw what other people were doing, and I adopted that style.
Yeah, I have a huge respect for stand-up comedians, because from all the interviews and people I've talked to that do it, the common denominator is you got to put time in, you got to put the work in. It's not going to happen overnight, right? Like, how long did it take you for you to start getting really comfortable on stage and getting like consistent laughs? And then how long did it take you to start getting respected in the comedy world and really starting to book gigs everywhere? Like
maybe like 4 years. Like when I got my like first killer set, my first killer set was like my first killer 5 minutes was probably 3 to 4 years in.
Wow.
And it was only 5 minutes, but it was enough to do a TV spot and enough to go to different clubs and kill with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
But then you realize you get tired of that and you can't do it everywhere. So then you have to take the chance to write more and learn more. But while you're going to write more, you have to try that on stage somewhere. And then it's not going to be as good as your first solid 5. So now you got to start taking chances again, and you feel vulnerable and new again. And then that stage repeats itself even years later. If you have an hour, once you tape a special and do that hour, you got to get another hour. And first you got to start with 5 minutes and 10 minutes and go up to an hour. And then you have to make that hour as strong as your last hour. Ooh. So as a comic, not only are you growing as a comic, but like by the time you peak with your material, you have to throw it away at some point and start over.
Wow.
So there's no security.
So you're kind of like getting a black belt and then starting back at white belt, then getting a black belt and starting back at white belt.
Right. And then you can't use none of the moves from the first set of black belts.
Because everybody bought those moves. Everybody knows those moves. You won with those moves already.
Yeah.
Wow. That's tough.
But you did come away with the experience.
Yeah, but you have the basics. Now you know the basics of a move. You have the fundamental skills of how to write a joke. So you keep that. You just have to be more creative now and create new arm bars and kimeras and like different versions.
Yeah, now you speak in our language, my brother.
You know.
What is a basic, and you don't have to give away what you do, but maybe something that people can understand. What is a basic method to writing a joke? Like maybe starting from like, how do you gain inspiration for a joke? And then how do you develop a joke? Maybe run us through that kind of process.
All right, I'll see what I could do. I know I usually started with one-liners, but I always wanted to tell stories.
Yeah.
So then I realized that one-liners can turn into stories. You just add more one-liners to them.
I see.
So then if you have like 5 to 10 one-liners on one topic, it's basically a bit. First, I used to come up with one-liners, and then I was like, man, it takes so many one-liners to have half an hour worth of material.
Yeah.
That you need like 30 one-liners. But then I was like, no, develop the one-liners, each one-liner, and dig further into them and see if there's more jokes in them. So then I started to like just mind the topic more. And then I would find, I could go this way, I could go this way. And then in that, there's different techniques like misdirection, surprise. Like you send the setup one way and then you do the punchline the other way. And then you can add facts, like things that you actually look up or and you could use an original thought about an idea. It's just a lot of things,
How many fillers are there? Like I see what you're saying. You go like one punchliner to the next, but how much breathing room do you have in between getting a laugh? And I know laughs are like, it's a small laugh, a chuckle, or a big laugh, which might be at the end of the joke, of the total bit. Sorry. Like how much filler room do you have? How many seconds do you have before you need to get that next chuckle?
Well, you can't think of it like that because then it's like putting unnecessary pressure on yourself.
Okay.
And then every audience is different. I'm just trying to write good jokes,
mm-hmm.
good bits. So the more I do them, the stronger they get. Like if I'm doing a bit and it's not strong enough, then I'll spend more time with it and figure out how to make it stronger, and how to make it better.
Are you at a level for yourself that you can write a bit right now, look at it, listen, recite it back to yourself and say, that's perfect, or no, it needs more? Or do you like have a counsel that tells you, nah, man, you got to do that over, or rewrite that, or no, it's good?
Or is it the stage that tells you whether it's good or not, the audience?
I'm at the stage where all those three things apply. Like, there's bits I write that I'll be like, man, this is perfect the first time I thought of it, and it is. And then there's bits like, this is perfect the first time I thought of it, and I go on stage and it bombs, and I guess it ain't. And then there's some things you think of and you're like, I think this is funny. Then you talk to your friends about it, and they might confirm it or be like, no, it needs work. Or they may just add something. It might be the thing you needed, or it might give you the idea for the thing you needed. I think it all comes to confidence and freedom and balls and bravery. And I'm probably at the stage where I should be able to like just come up with bits and do them right away, and they work. But I don't always feel brave and free enough to do that. Sometimes I do and I don't. So I want to get to the stage where I could just go up there and just start on a topic. And all of it works. That's like the glow from the Last Dragon type shit.
And it's crazy because jokes are so subjective. What's funny is like, it's one of the most subjective things out there. My humor is different than your humor, is different than the next guy's humor. So I can imagine how hard it is to come up with something that you think is funny. The only way to know if the majority will think it's funny is if you have the experience, like listening to a lot of comedy, attempting a lot of comedy, right? Like that's like one of the hardest things you can do. And now you're standing in front of a stage that has to accept whatever you're saying. Like, you're right. It takes a lot of bravery, man.
I think one of the things also, just to add to that, is depends on where you are. Like, there's different niches of comedy. And if you're performing for your niche, then that should add boldness and bravery to you. And then sometimes if you have like, depends on what your style is to, or style of material. Like, some people have universal material, so there's less reason for them to fare, even though fear creeps in anyway. And then some people, like, I've been places with my material and be like, this is not going to work in front of this crowd. Like, this is the antidote to my jokes, this crowd. And it's sometimes, but you have no choice because that's what you have and they're there. And then sometimes you try and sometimes it works and you realize you're broader than you are. And sometimes you are right. This audience ain't your audience. So it's just funny, but I'm like a universal zone right now.
When you say universal zone, does that mean your jokes will work with anybody? Like these jokes might not work on an Asian crowd, or these jokes might not work on a white crowd.
I think the topics are universal, but my spin is original.
Yep.
So they won't get lost. They won't be like, what the hell is he talking about?
Okay.
It'll be more like, I disagree with your spin. Or I disagree with your spin, but that is funny as hell. Or I did disagree with your spin, but now that you put it that way, I agree with you and it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes a joke a joke? Because my position on it is, if you're on stage performing at a comedy club where you're supposed to be telling jokes, I feel like anything you say really shouldn't be taken to offense to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there should be no boundaries with joke telling. And I know some people get a little testy when you talk about like black jokes or white jokes or this joke, but I feel like there should technically be no boundaries because it's expected that you're not serious, right? So what makes a joke, and what's your take on maybe some jokes that aren't acceptable, or are all jokes acceptable?
What makes all jokes acceptable?
Do you think that all jokes are on the table, or there's some things that you shouldn't be touching on?
You should be able to touch on anything. You should be able to touch on anything, but the reason why you have to always believe in yourself, because there's a lot of phony people in this world that want to have something to object to just for self-righteous reasons. And
haters.
Then they'll attack you no matter what you're talking about. So that's, to me, why I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, because if I'm going to get attacked, it might well be about something I want to talk about instead of catering to people and getting attacked anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's a different world. Like, people are kind of more offended, and I'm not against PC people. I just know that they might not all be for me, and that's fine. It's all good. I'm going to do what I like and what I want to do.
Sure. It's crazy because I'm 26 years old and I kind of grew up watching a lot of stand up. It's crazy how everyone got so sensitive. Like the jokes people tell nowadays, there's a lot more like unacceptable, like you said, PC things. Whereas like if you watch, of course, Eddie Murphy's Raw, like those jokes can't be told today for some reason. When did the world make that change? When did America make that change where we can't tell those kinds of jokes now? Those jokes are unacceptable and everybody,
It looks like this is a new like my parents raised me different than your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think parents wanted to be better than the parents before, and they were like they were sweeter to their kids. They listened to their kids. They asked their questions. They asked their kids questions. They took their kids' opinions into consideration, which my parents didn't do. And then those people had kids, and were even more open and gentle and better. I guess in a way, they're just like, I don't know how to put it, but
I think I get what you're saying. Like the parents are being more considerate towards their kids, and then it keeps going even more considerate, right?
Right. And then everybody thinks, oh, they have it makes everybody feel like my parents let me talk. They make me have an opinion. They told me like things that my parents didn't think were wrong. The parents after them thought were wrong. They taught their kids that.
Gotcha.
And then those kids pushed it even further to when they had kids. So it's not really a bad generation. Like PC people aren't bad. They could actually make the world better. It's just that we're so used to the world the way it is. We don't like a lot of the stuff that they don't stand for. And we think it's soft because we grew up tougher. But the world technologically is getting safer and better in a sense. And it's also getting more PC for the better in a sense. And you're 26, but there's a generation after millennials that are more millennial than millennials,
Yeah, word.
So it's just what it is. And then there's going to be clashes.
So do you feel like it's almost like you're just playing by different rules now? Like if you were doing comedy 10 years ago, it has to be different than it is now because of the PC people. But does it just feel like you're playing in a new arena under new rules? You're playing maybe tackle football, now you're playing flag football. Like, is it just that feeling?
Yeah, it's not like when you look at the NFL, they changed the rules so people can get hurt less.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening in the world, period, with different generations of people. They're trying to change the rules so people get their feelings hurt less. So we're used to, you remember when they moved the kickoff zone so that less people could get concussions?
Yes.
We liked the rule before that when people could get concussions. So then we're looking at the people that don't want concussions like they're weaklings. But it is better for less people to get concussions, so why not?
Gotcha. It's just the world's evolving essentially. It's not necessarily a bad or a good thing.
Right. It might be a good thing, but it's just a thing we're not used to. We don't even know how good it is yet. And it might, I'll defend millennials on stage because everybody attacks them. Like, so my kind of comedy is like, I go against what everybody is for. So it's easy to attack millennials. It's easy to attack vegans. So I'll defend them because that's more provocative to me, defending the thing that everybody's against. Like everybody thinks if I attack millennials, I'm being edgy. If I attack vegans, I'm being edgy. But not everybody. If everybody's doing it, then you're everybody. If edgy is going against what the norm is. So the norm is to attack millennials. But I actually look at the benefit of millennials. Like, yeah, if they make the world better, I know I'm old school, but I still am the type of person that wants the world to be better. So yeah, I'll defend them and I'll come up with some funny shit to defend them. And that's more provocative than joining the wave of everybody that's attacking them. Who thinks they're edgy. You're attacking a bunch of people that don't even want to argue with you.
So you're just kind of thinking a step ahead of maybe other comedians, essentially.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that's deep.
You're the good guy.
I know you've written for shows. Is there a big difference between writing for shows and writing for stand-up?
You know what writing for a show is like? Writing for a show is like hanging out at the Comedy Cellar upstairs before or after your set. There's a topic on the table for a discussion, and everybody is spitting jokes on that topic. And then the topic might change, and a writer's room for a TV show is basically, here's a topic, let's riff on it and come up with a story based on this topic. So you're using all your comical skills that you would use hanging out at the club at night, after the show and before the show, just with a little bit more direction in the writer's room.
But I see what you're saying. Let's say they feel like comedy is something for them. They like joking, they like making jokes or whatever, and they just feel like a strong pull to comedy.
Right.
Would you be able to talk to somebody and say, you know what, you might be better at writing for a show instead of writing for stand-up? Like, can you tell a difference between somebody? Would you be able to mentor somebody in a certain direction?
I mean, sometimes, but not all the time. Like, if somebody, because people can surprise you and people can surprise themselves. Like, there might be comics, you're like, man, that's a terrible comic. But then they go in a writer's room and they're a good writer. And you're like, damn, I didn't know. You know, this forum suits them better. So it's hard to tell somebody what they're better for. Like, people know themselves better than we do. Or I do.
Okay.
So that's tough. Like, some people you can tell, hey, he'll be a good writer, but you can't do it for everybody.
Gotcha. It's just something they have to experience.
Yeah, it's just some shit that has to have a chance. The person has to have a chance to happen, you know?
For inspiration, I know inspiration is a big deal in comedy and just in general, right? If you have an art form that you want to hone, you need inspiration. Where do you gain inspiration from?
I've got my inspiration from different things at different times. So, you know, before it was, all right, so I was inspired by, I'm going to start doing comedy. I'm going to do this for a living. So I have to get funny to make a living from this thing. And I have to get better. So you're inspired to like work hard to provide for yourself financially so that you could get more jobs.
Okay.
And then sometimes you get inspired by different comics. Like you see their writing style and you're like, I want to be as good as that guy. So then you go home and you write for that week that you're inspired. Now, my inspiration is weird. It's not a typical inspiration. You know, I hope it doesn't sound weird, but my inspiration is like love, like love of everybody. Like, so it's weird. I want to kind of spread love through comedy. Mm-hmm. And I don't exactly know how to do it. I'm just experimenting with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
now, when you say love, do you mean unifying people?
Yes. Yeah.
And how would you go about doing that? Like, I understand you're kind of like not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just new, man. It's just really trying to figure it out. Like, one thing I do when I go on stage now, before I usually start my set, I'll just tell the whole audience, hey, I love y'all. You know, thanks for coming. Love y'all. Now, I don't know if anybody in the audience heard that all day from somebody, but at least they heard it from me. Gotcha. So I don't know if it has an effect, but that's the most I know how to do right now. Then I'll remember. If I remember, I'll say it at the end of the set. And then I think, oh, this is one thing. Like, so, like I like to kind of be controversial, but not just for being controversial's sake, but for pointing out the idiosyncrasies in the world, right?
Okay.
And normally when I used to point them out, I used to be like, make the point and be like, I see the point and you don't, and I just told you the point, which kind of is like separating me from the audience. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, hey, let's all see this together. I just found this out. Some of you might know this shit. You know, just being more vulnerable, letting people know we're all the same.
Yeah.
Through jokes and through material. And like I said, like martial arts is amazing. Like you teach somebody how to break somebody's arm, but you also are told not to use it for the wrong. And there's lessons of love in it. You know, and even before somebody gets in the ring, they hug everybody before they get in the octagon, you know, and it's just like, there's a lot of love in martial arts. There's a lot of juxtaposition in martial arts to me. Mm-hmm. And I guess there is some in comedy. And I haven't completely figured out this, how do you show love through comedy thing?
I like your approach though. It's like normally a joke would be making people laugh because you're telling them the difference between one thing and another in a way they're not expecting, right? Whether it's the opposite of the norm or just something you led them on to think you were going to say, and then you surprise them with the opposite, right?
Right.
But you're trying to say, hey guys, listen, like, hey, this is a big discussion. Listen what I figured out. Do you guys agree? This is funny, right? So you're kind of having like your approach is kind of like we're all in this together.
Yes, yeah.
See what I got.
What I like about your approach is you connect. You're connecting with the masses, and when you open up with "I love you," that's your passion in your craft. That's permeating through that, and it's just setting off the vibe. for the whole show.
Yeah, so because I want to be fueled by love for people and less ego. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a working process. We'll see what happens. Fuck it.
So how are you gonna make fun of all those like bitches and hoes now?
There's funnier people. Like I have a joke where I defend hoes. So again, that's like defending millennials. Like, it's easy to pick on hoes, but to be one of the few people that defends them and shows the good part of hoes is, again, more provocative.
Yes.
And more edgy than attacking them.
Yes.
So again, love helps me be even edgier.
So would you say that you wouldn't be able to do this style 10 years ago, before the bandwagon of making fun of a specific thing became like, oh shit, this is like, because that's kind of comedy, right? It moves in waves. Something happens and everybody jokes about it. Something happens, but you're saying something happens, everybody jokes about it. I'm joking about the opposite.
Yeah, I'm like, one of my things right now is I like Trump. Thank God for Trump. But here's why thank God for Trump. Because if it wasn't for Trump, Ted Cruz will be one step closer to the presidency. And Ted Cruz is way worse than Trump, you know?
Gotcha, yeah.
So Trump actually saved this country from Ted Cruz. Because Ted Cruz, the people, the Republicans in Congress and the Senate, they like him. And they would help pass his laws and his rules. Like, you wouldn't be able to get an abortion. That motherfucker means that shit. Trump don't care if you want one, you know? So Trump, as bad as he is, as bad as his rallies are, saved us from Ted Cruz. Like, if you look at Ted Cruz, like, you have a picture of Ted Cruz for 10 minutes, a picture of Trump for 10 minutes, you'd be like, Ted Cruz is the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Trump is just a clown without the red nose on. So Trump is not all bad. Like, I'm looking past the obvious points that people are making. I'm trying to see if something more is there. And if there's nothing more there, fine. But if there's something then I'll say it. And in Trump's case, yeah, he looks like an idiot who's going to ruin the country. But he ain't going to ruin the country more than Ted Cruz would have. So he still saved us.
Gotcha. I see. So that's your angle. So would it make sense then? Like, you could it's actually better if you go on after people, because other people could set up your jokes essentially, right? Like, if everybody's joking about how bad Trump is, and then you come on and be like, no, trust me, Trump is the man.
Right.
Because he said so. Right. It actually helps you from going on after people, right?
It helps just looking further into things.
Okay.
So that even if somebody does a topic before you or after you, you still have an original take that the audience can laugh at. You know what I mean? And or realize. So just looking at things further. Like, when you look at a move in martial arts further, you'll find other moves in it. And that's what I wasn't doing when I was going fast. When I was going fast, I needed to slow down so I could see further.
I completely understand. I feel like anybody who's done any sort of martial arts can understand that. There's these mini moves that you learn, these little sequences in between the main things that, like, only experience teaches you that they're there, right? Yes.
Deepness.
How do you evolve at this point? Like, how, and maybe say it in terms that can help anybody. Like, if you're doing one thing for a while, 10 years, how do you evolve after 10 years, especially in something like that? And I feel like we can relate to you, because anybody who trains martial arts, whether it's jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, MMA, anything, when you're training in the gym with your training partners, they start to see your moves. It starts to get harder to beat them. How do you stay ahead and evolve? Is it through inspiration? Is it through motivation? What can that be?
I think it's all that: inspiration, motivation, and you have to you just have to naturally, it helps. You don't have to, but it helps if you naturally are that type of person who wants to. Like, when you look at Kobe, like, he just always wanted to get better. So he just stayed in the gym. Like, you can't buy that type of drive.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying he was born with that, you know?
Okay. I was going to say, like, some people's inspiration, and I think Kobe is the same way, like, it's because they love winning way more than they love losing. So the loss is way harder to feel than the win. and that's their angle, right? Is your drive sometimes, or have you gotten past the fact like I don't want to bomb anymore? Like the feeling of bombing is so horrific to me that I'm going to try to write as best as I can so I don't bomb again?
I still care if I bomb, and that bugs me that I care if I bomb. You know, there's been times when I didn't care if I bombed, just as long as if I had an agenda that night and I wanted to follow it. Like, because sometimes bombing, like say I write a bunch of new material, and most of it is new and it's unproven. If I go on stage that night and abort and do old material and I kill, I feel bad that I abandoned my plan to grow. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes when you do bad and you bomb because you stuck to the plan, you feel bad, but rationally you did the right thing and you knew you weren't going to do that great because it's new material. So you figure out what worked, what didn't, why it didn't work, and you fix it and you get better. And soon that material will be as good as your old material. So sometimes a bombing is just a part of getting better and you have to accept it.
Yeah.
So don't bail.
So would you say you got to throw away the ego?
Yeah, it's your ego. It's ego. Like that's the beauty of martial arts. It helps manage your ego, and it's the same thing with comedy. Like it helps. It's those in comedy and martial arts keep your ego honest. They keep it in check because you have to be honest with yourself to become a better martial artist, and you have to be honest with yourself to become a better comic, to be the best one you could be. You know, you have to be in touch with yourself. You know,
what constitutes as bombing?
When nobody laughs, shit.
I know that's one part.
Like so when I just started, right? Like killing on a scale of 1 to 10. When I just started, killing was like if I had a set that was number 3 on a scale of 10 when I first started, that was killing for me. All I heard was laughing. Right? So now killing to me is 10. If I go out on stage that night and I get an 8, I feel worse than when I first started and got 3.
I see.
I know of the possibility of a 10.
Higher expectations.
Yeah, higher expectations. Every night, you know, I think it's hard to not have expectations, but I shouldn't always have them, you know? Because then that's again, ego. Because then even if you're having a set that's number 7, right?
Okay.
That's still really good. People still enjoy you. But comedy is so ego related because people like, hey, you have a job where you make people laugh. But the other part of that job is people's laughter make you feel better about yourself. So if you don't get the 10, you don't feel as good with the 7. So the audience might be happier than you are. You ain't as happy as them. That's why, you know, it's a constant ego thing, you know?
Damn. That must twist you up, man.
Yeah, but you got to let it. But you also learn to let it go. Stop being stupid, you know? Like shut up, self.
It's like drugs. Like you keep, you in the beginning, a little bit does it for you. And then as your tolerance builds, you need more and more. And eventually, like, it's hard to feed the monster. So would you say comedy can be similar like that to some people, or
yeah, for sure.
And the jokes are the monster, right? Like, or the laughs. Sorry.
Yeah, the laughs. The laughs make you high, man.
How does it feel to come off stage, big crowd, whatever it is, your biggest crowd ever, and like, you know, it was a 9 or it was a 10, and everybody's laughing, and you feel like, man, I just nailed it, perfect set, I killed the shit. Every joke was on point, delivery was on point. And just everybody was having a good time. What is that feeling walking off stage?
It feels amazing. Because your ego has completely been stroked by a room full of people. And that doesn't happen to everybody every day. You know, and it doesn't happen to you as a comic every night. Yeah. So it kind of validates you, you know, and it kind of validates you. But it also can be bad for you. You know what I mean?
Like if you take too much out of it.
Yeah, or if you take too much out of it, or there are some comics that just want results. They want that 9 or that 10. So then they'll just keep doing their old material, or they'll do something hacky and they'll never grow. So it's like, how did you earn that 9 or 10? And now some people don't care how they earn that 9 or 10.
Gotcha.
But I care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had 9 or 10s where I felt like, I cheated to get that 9 or 10.
You kind of relied on old shit.
Or, there's some stock responses to like crowd work you could do.
Okay.
Just, there's this, like, if you're honest with yourself, even though the crowd thought you were the best, if you were your best.
Like one thing that blew me away was in the winter. So like 6 months ago, we're in New Jersey, and Jerry Seinfeld had a show in Newark, and I was lucky enough to get tickets to that. And he was one of the comedians I grew up like loving because I loved the show and blah blah blah. So it was one of my dreams to watch him live, and I did. And what blew me away is I've never heard any of those jokes from him ever before, and I was kind of unsure, like on the ride there leading up to it, like, am I going to hear old stuff? It'll be funny if I hear old stuff because it's coming from the master, from the originator. But I didn't hear everything was brand new. Everything was like was current event stuff, and that blew me away. Like the expectation I had was one thing, and I got something like super fresh from a guy that didn't need to be super fresh. You know what I'm saying? Do you want people to feel that way with you as well?
Yeah. Like I want to grow. I want to keep growing. I want to grow to the day I die. You know what I mean? That's like in regular life and on stage. So writing constantly or adding tags. And I want to keep pushing my mind and my spirit and my body. I just feel like no question you have to keep doing that. And sometimes I feel lazy and I don't do it. And then when I don't do it, I beat myself for not doing it. Mm-hmm. But at some point, I usually do it. And I could probably do it more. But definitely when I do it, I feel better. Because I know my gut tells me you're supposed to do that.
Sure. What other things do you do to help write jokes? Like, what other things do you find that will maybe get you in a zone to say, man, I got something to write right now?
You could just watch like any type of performance, even the martial arts. Like I saw Dos Anjos fight like twice, like live. And I could tell whatever he's doing in training is next level shit. Yeah. And I'm like, so then I know there's a next level for me when I go to write or work on shit. Like, and I said, I got to find that gear that motherfucker was in. That's parallel to comedy. Yeah. You see a singer perform or just a really good movie. Like I watched Inception on a plane. I was coming back from the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Mm-hmm. And I'm always in the movie theater. Then I seen Inception once. Yeah. And then I had a choice of movies, and there was a bunch of new movies I never seen before, but Inception was one of the choices. And I realized I've only seen Inception once. Yeah. That's kind of a crime.
It's a dope movie. It's a mind-blowing movie.
And then I watched it, and it was better. It's better than most movies I've ever seen. And I was like, what they did to make this movie, like it made every movie I'd seen in the last few years since the first time I saw Inception, like nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, then okay, if they could do this, there's got to be more. Yeah. Like I got to be able to write material like that's better. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can get inspired by a lot of things, man.
Like you get inspired for something that's impressive is what you're saying. Like, man, that movie was impressive. Man, Dos Anjos was impressive. Or this guy's comedy special, the way he was stringing these jokes, where did he come up with this stuff? That was impressive. So you're saying watch something that's impressive, that's truly impressive to you, and that can get you in the mood to create.
Yeah, to create that creative energy.
Yeah, because then you're like when I see something like that, I feel like I know they were in a zone, and then I know I've been in a comedy writing zone before, and then I can realize, oh shit, I'm. Sometimes you don't know you're not in a zone. You're like, oh shit, I've been out of my zone. Uh-huh. So then seeing something like that inspires me to get back in that zone. And then since I've been in that zone before, I know what to do to get in the zone. I realize I haven't been doing those things. I've been lazy. So I was like, now you got to do the things to get back in that zone where you come up with that material that blows people's mind. Sometimes. So he's like, all right, so even the last few weeks, I was like, I'm not funny. I wasn't funny in conversation. I know some conversations I was having with people, even this girl that I'm dating, I could tell she was just laughing to be supportive. And I was like, nah.
Oh.
I was like, no, I'm not in the zone. I got it. And I even told her, I'm comedy conversation off right now. And I could tell with conversations I was having with people, like, when you're in the zone, you're just clicking. And I knew I wasn't clicking. And so then I just started looking at a lot of my old comedy, other people's old comedy, and just re-educating myself.
Gotcha. So you almost like when you're in a state of peaking. That's that level you want to maintain. And I know in martial arts, you want to right before you competition, right before you fight, you want to be peaking in your training where you're in a state of zone for 2-3 weeks. Like you're just every time you come in, you feel sharp.
Yeah.
And I guess like you can get burnt out from being in that zone for too long, but you need to have a sense of awareness to say, oh shit, I've been out of that zone. I'm not funny.
Yeah.
I'm not sharp. I'm not caring about the things I need to care about. Right.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't want to like when you're in martial arts, you don't want to find out you're not in the zone at the wrong time when your opponent is standing across from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a horrible time. And sometimes I find out I'm not in the zone on stage when I'm saying the stuff that I normally say, but it's not working. And it's got nothing to do. It's like I've been lazy. I've been coasting. It's like I haven't been doing my homework, and I'm not sharp. I'm saying it, I'm doing it, but I'm not sharp. So it
could be possibly something in your delivery too that day, right? Like if you're just not delivering it.
But that's all a part of it. Like why is your jab not sharp? Why is your were you working on it?
Right.
Why didn't you pull off the Chimera or the arm bar? Were you working on it? Were you thinking about life and doing other shit?
I'm impressed, man. Like you're throwing out Chimeras and arm bars and jabs.
Come to New Jersey. I'm gonna slap a purple belt on you.
It's hilarious. So yeah, in words. Like next time I'm in New York, what part of Jersey y'all at?
We're in our school is in Lyndhurst. We're like 20 minutes from Manhattan, man.
All right. I might, if I can come by, I'll take some lessons and shit.
Please do.
For sure, man. And we've been waiting for you to come around New York for a while. And I think the last time you came, we just couldn't we couldn't find coverage for our classes. But for sure, the next time you come through, I want to get in there and witness Ian Edwards live.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
You better have a bowl cut too.
Nah, I got a ball cut.
Ian, what?
I'm jealous of Down syndrome people. They can at least get a bowl cut. I can't. My shit is just straight bald.
What comedians kill you inside? Like when you listen to them, you're like dying.
JB Smooth, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr. Who else? There's this young dude named Jesus. He's funny, man.
Just the name. This young dude, Jesus.
Jesus from 185th.
Funny. And there's a lot of funny people out there, man. There's tons. It's unbelievable right now.
Yeah, like there's a lot of comedians out there that are below the radar that are funnier than the guys that are selling out soccer stadiums, right? Like,
yeah, because those people are hungry and they're in their zone and they're trying to chase it. Like once you get the belt, it's tough keeping the belt, man.
What's next for you?
Just doing tons of stand-up, and I want to, shoot a special this year. Like nobody's giving me the green light to buy my special, so I might just have to do it myself and push and have it, and that probably will get me across the finishing line to like Netflix or just somebody saying, all right, we'll buy it, or we'll broadcast it, because nobody's like saying, hey, here's some money, shoot a special, which is to me illegal. It's like, come on, man, I should have a special.
Yeah,
for sure.
Funny as hell. Like, why would you not?
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's like, but they have an agenda. They have a type right now.
Yeah,
it's fine.
They racist, man.
I'm not even going to say that. It's just they're just chasing whatever they think where the money is at, and they're wrong.
Yeah,
they're wrong
because they're not true fans of stand up.
They're business people. Yeah, they're business people.
Does the racist card work anymore? Can you pull out that racist card at Stop and Shop?
I don't like using it, because like when I read like Sammy Davis Jr. book, it's like if he made it back then the way conditions were. Like. Or if my parents got as far as they got, the way shit was, and other people, it's like, yeah, you could use a racist card, but you're disgracing. It's like embarrassing to the people who really had to compete against more racism.
Yeah.
There's some racism, but
it's like a cop out.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to be. If I encounter racism, like a white guy is going to encounter too many white guys, and a woman is going to be encounter they're not giving women anything.
Gotcha.
But there's women who made it, there's white guys who made it, and there's black people who made it.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a way. It's just pushing you to be more creative or innovative.
And that could be a benefit of what you're saying about generation to generation. The parents are teaching the kids to be more nice, I guess, to each other, and that's where the racism thing comes in. It's actually that's one of the benefits. It's harder to play the racist card now. It's hard to play the sexist card now because it's
people want to help each other. People want to not be that, you know.
Damn. Is there any bits you want to? Any new bits you want to share with us?
That's his money
for quality control. We can help you with that.
I'm gonna go try some stuff on stage tonight, so I'm excited about that. I'm actually on the Death Squad show tonight at the Comedy Store.
Oh, nice.
So I've been working on some stuff. I worked on it last night. I'm working it tonight, and it's trying to get back in that fun zone of trying stuff. So yeah, I haven't actually tried that Trump bit yet. I thought of it the other day, so I'll try it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I have the point of it, I have the angle of it, but I gotta find like some jokes for it, you know. Nice. So just come see me. Awesome. Whoever's listening, just come see me.
Come to New York.
And I'll be out there. I'll let you know too.
Perfect.
Or sometimes I forget who I know in New York. So if you see on Twitter or Instagram anything, hit me up.
Okay, for sure, man. And you want to tell people what your next coming dates are, where you're going to be at?
Let me see. Let me go to my website. See this out.
IanEdwardsComedy.com.
Yes, IanEdwardsComedian.com. So they can go to IanEdwardsComedian.com and all my show dates are there. Or just follow me on Twitter at IanEdwardsComic. But I was planning on coming to New York for like 2 weeks in June and just doing spots at the Cellar.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
But I don't know if that'll be pushed like last week of June into the beginning of July. And I might end up doing it that way.
Okay, cool. Perfect, man. Well, when you come, we will be there. I promise you, man.
Word.
No doubt. And I'll come over to the school.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Seriously. Maybe we could do another one in person and just talk shit, and you can make fun of us, and we can try to make fun of you. And then you can laugh at us trying to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you, man. Me and him for sure. We'll get you.
We're starting to write right now.
All right, start writing. I like it.
Cool.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon, and good luck at all your shows.
All right, brothers. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem, man.
And keep up the good work.
All right, man.
Thanks.
All right, one love.
One love.
Peace.